Denisova, and I'm the founder and trainer at Luxembourg School of Contemporary Etiquette. I'm happy to welcome you to Lux Etiquette and Service Cafe, the only space of the kind in Luxembourg. I have created this area not only to share a cup of coffee with my soulmates, but also to fill you with my passion for etiquette and service. There are two driving forces in my life: elegance of communication and serving others. It's not only if you're famous, if you are on YouTube or in the news, you are an impactful person in the area of your influence. People who can influence on our lives might be our neighbors living next door, but we are not aware of it. And I like opening up people here, because everyone is special and really unique. I see it as my mission to present you in the most authentic way by inviting you for a conversation over a cup of coffee, the great influencers of Luxembourg who create present and future of this unique country. And now get ready to meet my next guest at Lux Etiquette and Service Cafe. I have invited a special person for you today. She is an international leadership trainer, mentor and business consultant based in Luxembourg. With more than 20 years of experience with international and virtual teams, she is a true advocate of diversity and inclusion. She worked in senior leading positions in big companies like Amazon, so she is a former Amazonian. My today's guest is a dancer, and recently she has developed a training program which is called Salsa for people who want to succeed in the adventures of leadership and self-assurance. She is also the author of a book, My Revenge in Life, where she shared the story of her horrific car accident, the struggles she had, and the lessons she learned from it. She is also a dear friend of mine and my partner at Luxembourg School of Contemporary Etiquette. It's my pleasure to welcome my guest of today, Virginie Lemay-Vriesde. Hello Virginie, thank you for accepting my invitation and sharing a cup of coffee with me this morning.
Hi Angela, thank you for having me.
Virginie, do you like coffee?
Yes, I do actually. I don't drink it so much, but I do like coffee, yes.
And how do you like your coffee? Do you like it black, with milk, or with sugar, or latte, cappuccino? What kind of coffee
So
do you
there are
like?
two types I like, either black with sugar, like we're having now, or latte macchiato, so with milk a bit more soft. So it depends on the time of the day.
Do you think that the type of coffee a person drinks could speak about this person?
Probably, yeah, I never thought about that, but I guess so, yes.
And if yes, then what could it tell you?
I think if someone drinks an espresso, it's someone who is energetic and who is straight to the point, so I think that would be the image the person would give, although I don't know if there are any studies in that area, but that would be my first impression.
Virginie, you are the person of so many traits. You are a mentor, you're a business consultant, you're a trainer. You are also very active on social media.
Yes.
And I know that on LinkedIn you have more than 10,000 connections,
Yes.
10,000 contacts. Could you imagine? Oh, and I know that you have a rule that every day you write an article, and it's not just 2 lines or 3 lines. It's a real article. You share valuable insights with your readers.
Correct.
And you're also very active on podcasts. What makes you so energetic? Where do you get your energy?
That's a good question. I don't know, honestly. Maybe because I'm always like that, and why I'm always like that is probably because first I'm very healthy, so I pay attention to the food that I eat. I drink lots of water. I also exercise regularly, several times per week. I also like my sleep. I need my 7 to 8 hours sleep, otherwise I'm not functioning properly. So I think a combination of all of that makes the fact that I am energetic most of the time, probably.
You're a very good example for young people, you know, for this Generation Z.
Yeah, maybe.
Last time with my guest, we discussed that Generation Z are played, and they don't know how to energize themselves, especially in the morning. Look at you, 9 o'clock, and you're full of energy.
Almost, yes.
Virginie, you are a trainer and business consultant, and your main area of professional interest is in leadership.
Yes.
So you do you offer your services to leaders and executives. What's your story? How did you pick up this area of coaching, and why leadership? And maybe you have some story to share with us.
Sure. So if you allow me, I'm going to give some background. So as you said, I've been working more than 20 years in big companies, and the last one was in Amazon. When I came to Luxembourg, I was hired in Amazon to be the senior manager for quality for customer service in Europe, and then
Interesting. Customer service.
Yes, for 2 years. So we were making sure that customers all over Europe were satisfied and even more. And then I became the senior manager for learning and development, also for customer service in Europe. And after almost 4 years working for Amazon, I took one of the toughest decisions of my life, and was to resign. And why? Because with my husband, we wanted to travel the world for some time.
So in addition to all your qualities and features, you are a traveler.
I definitely am. That's true. And so I resigned, and as I say, it was tough because I had a great team, great colleagues. Amazon, even though there is lots of pressure, you're learning a lot, so it was very, very interesting. But as I say, I decided to resign, and then we traveled for 6 to 9 months approximately. And when I came back, I started to ask myself, well, what do I do now? Do I go back to the corporate world? Do I go back to Amazon, or do I start something on my own? And if so, what? So I kind of coached myself, looked at what I liked, what I was good at, and what were people saying about me. And when I was working in Amazon, we did lots of kind of psychological tests. So I reviewed all the reports that I got, and something stood out, something I never saw before, was that all my colleagues were saying that I was very good at developing, mentoring, and coaching people. And I was like, yeah, actually that's what I've done all my life. Even though I never had the official title of a coach or a mentor, I always had teams, as you said, international teams, virtual teams from all over the world. And I've always helped them develop themselves, getting another job, another promotion, etc. So I was like, yeah, actually I like to do that, and apparently I'm good at it. And then, as you said, the area. Again, looking back at my whole experience, I've noticed that I've had most of the time manager's role, leader's role, and I was like, yeah, actually leadership, that is also where I'm good at. So that's why I decided to start with that leadership area, because again, I have lots of experience. I've worked with people from pretty much all over the world. And so that's why I try to share and help people with. Leadership is one thing, but I'm trying to add this international side to it, how to deal with people from different countries, different cultures.
Oh, that's fantastic. And now with your extensive experience in leadership, that's absolutely the right track you have chosen. Virginie, when you prepare for your session with the client or for your training, do you have any specific pre-performance rituals?
That's a great question. Nobody has ever asked me that, and I would say I don't think so. The only thing I'm doing is preparing, basically, making sure that everything that is under my control is covered, that if something goes wrong, I have a backup plan and a backup plan of a backup plan. And that's pretty much it. The rest, as I say, again, ensuring I'm getting enough sleep, ensuring I'm having the right food, not eating too heavy the previous day, making sure, again, all this basic stuff that, again, I'm exercising to be full of energy for the rest of the day. So that's the same, so nothing really special, no.
Virginie, you're also an active member at TEOC. This is an online platform where big business could meet high quality coaches and trainers. What kind of trainings do you offer for your corporate clients, and what would be the ROI for a company if it hires you?
So what I offer, as you say, is leadership training, and I've created 2 programs. One is called the True Global Leader, where again I'm trying to help mostly managers who want to grow in an organization. So again, to communicate better, to become more confident, to help them think strategically, work with people from different countries and cultures, etc. And I've also created another program called I Amazing, which is mostly aimed at women. And as you say, it's to help them build their confidence, because we know there are lots of younger women out there who have challenges to balance their work and private life, who, however, want to grow in organization and have a career. So again, based on my own experience, because I've been there, I have created this program to help these young women. And to your question, what is the ROI? Or before I go to that, I want to say there are other areas as well I can help companies with. I can help them with stress management, time management, change management, how to deal with diversity or how to be more diverse. So all of that I can help with. And so for what would be the ROI is that I can help companies improve their team's motivation and performance. I can help them have people more engaged and again help their improve their performance. But also one of the things I think I bring and is that the fact that I speak fluently 5 languages. And when I say I speak 5 languages, that means that I can deliver training and coaching in 5 languages. And these languages, as you know, are English, French, German, Dutch, and Italian. So for a company, instead of them having to find 5 different trainers and so to deliver a certain training, I can ensure that I deliver the same training and offer the same experience to people in these different languages.
5 languages on a professional level. Wow, it's really so great. Virginie, you're a person of a so diverse experience and background, and I know that you have worked in many countries. What are the countries? Can you name them?
So even though I'm French, I've never worked in France. That's very funny. But I did work in Germany, in the Netherlands, in Italy, in Luxembourg, obviously. And when I was very young, to improve my English, I went 2 months to England. So also worked there. Yes.
And now one of the areas of your professional interest is in customer service.
Yes.
And what's the difference? Is there any difference in service attitude in those countries you worked in and Luxembourg, if you compare?
Yes. So I must say, I've heard that a lot of people often complain about Luxembourg customer service, but personally, I find the service here very good. I've had worse, and I think that in Luxembourg, every time I went to a company, to a restaurant, whatever, I had very good service. I would say where the service was maybe not so good, and again, it has to do with the culture. I think it's in the Netherlands and in Amsterdam. So the first reason is probably because they have so many tourists that I can imagine at some point people are just fed up or just are not as positive as they could be. So that's number one. The other thing is that the Dutch people are usually more direct in their way of communicating. Yeah. So this also reflects in their way of how to deal with customers. Again, also in the Netherlands, I've had also very good customer service. But overall, if I make a comparison, that's probably where it was the most direct, let's say. And another difference is in the UK, for instance. And again, it's probably in the culture. People usually speak on a first name basis, and they would say, hi, how are you? Or hi, honey, hi, love. And it's kind of sweet depending on the company or the shop you're going to. But I was thinking last time that if you would do the same in France, people would look at you and think, I'm not your love, or I'm not your honey, you know? So that's where you see the kind of differences. So I guess every company, every shop needs to find out who are their clients and how they can best serve them and make the best customer experience.
What is the excellent service mindset for you?
Yes, great question, Angela. For me, that one thing I always advise, whether it's about customer service, whether it's about communication, it's always start with your customer or your audience and work backwards. So what does that mean? It means that don't think of, okay, I want to sell this product or this service because it has great features, it can do this or that. No, 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 no. You always need to start with your customers and think, who are they? What do they need? What are their struggles? And from then on, try to see how you can help them. So for me, this is key, always starting with the customer and working backwards.
If you want to succeed in serving customers, what would be the 3 tips you could give to those people who need this experience?
So as I say, first is the working with the customer and working backwards. That's the number 1. The number 2, I would say, for companies, they need to ensure that it's not only their, for instance, frontline employees that are dealing with customers who need to have a great customer service mindset. Obviously, it's important for the frontline employees, whether they are in shops, whether they are technical support on the phone or on email, but everybody in an organization needs to have that service mindset. If there is one piece of the organization that is not service oriented, then the things are going to fall apart sooner or later. So it's important that from the leaders to the people who are at the front line, going through the sales department, the logistics department, back office, whatever, everybody has this customer service mindset. And the third one, I would say, it's keep raising the bar. And by that, I mean, if customers or if as a company, you are the top, you are recognized as the best in your industry, etc., that's great. But what may happen and what will happen is that your competition will see, oh, Angela has done this, that's great, so I want to do the same. And people are going to start to do the same. And if you are not keeping raising the bar, then at some point your competitors will become the best. So that's very important that you keep on striving to meet and exceed customer expectation, to deliver that excellent customer service, but that you keep on finding ways, again, thinking back of your customers. What do they need now? What are their new struggles, etc.? So that, again, you keep rising the bar and so that you keep delivering the best customer experience.
So customer service requires inspired, dedicated and committed leaders, you've said.
Absolutely.
One of the tips you've given. And you are the mentor for leaders and executives. There are different definitions of leadership. And one of them is that leaders are impactful and influential, and they influence others. Leaders are very magnetic. They're people who, if they walk into the room, people turn their heads. If they speak, people listen to them. For leaders, they say that they use the blend of emotions, logic and intuition to impact their audience. Logic appeals to the heads and intuition appeals to the guts, and emotions appeal to the heart. Yes. But they also say that it's more important to go to people's hearts than to their minds or wallets. Being a leadership trainer and mentor, what do you think is more important for you in relationship? What are the most important things for you personally when you deal with your clients? Emotions, logic, or intuition?
Oh, that's another great question, Angela. So I would say is finding the right balance, because as you said, these 3 areas are very important. But I think the first thing, to me at least, and that is what I'm doing, is first dealing with the heart, with the emotions. Because if someone, let's say, is upset or frustrated or stressed, you can say, or you can try to help that person. But if this person is such in a state that he or she cannot think logically, he or she will not get the message. So you first need to acknowledge the emotions. Show that you listen, show that you're trying to understand them. And then sometimes people just need to release what they have on their mind and heart. They need to express their frustration, their anger, whatever it is. And only then, when they have seen, okay, now I just feel better because I've released my emotions, now I can listen to the logical part or my intuition. So that is what I would do. Yes.
So for a leader, in other words, for a leader, it is important to be emotionally intelligent.
Absolutely.
And go to hearts and then only minds. And because emotions make people take actions. And I think you could agree that leaders should be charismatic and likable. So
Yes.
these are the two features of a great leader. Do you think, Virginie, that likability and charisma are genetic, or could it be learned? And if yes, if it could be learned, then how to cultivate it?
So that's another great question. And honestly, this one, I've been thinking about it and I do not have an answer yet. Okay. One way, I do believe that some people are born with this leader gene or whatever it is. That yes, they will take the lead. From a young age, they will be the ones who tell their friends, yeah, come, let's do this, okay, let's play that game. So I do believe that some people are born. However, I also think you can cultivate that. And I truly believe as well, we are all leaders in our own way. Maybe you don't think you are, but for instance, if you have children, you are a leader for them because they look up to
Absolutely.
you for certain things,
Absolutely.
right? In a company, or even if you're not working in a company, maybe someone is looking up to you because you're a great cook, or maybe because your garden looks amazing because you take care of the flowers. Maybe, I don't know, that can be so many reasons. So we are all leaders in our own way. And if someone really wants to step up and manage a team or lead a movement or whatever, I think everybody can do it. It may be more challenging for some others because, as you say, you need to be a good communicator, you have to have charisma, you need to inspire people, be emotionally intelligent. So I do think it is possible. However, as I said, I also truly believe that some people are born with it, and these people probably will have it easier to become a leader than the others.
So to some extent it is genetic, right?
Yes, I think so, yes. But again, I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm still thinking about it.
Leaders are very judicious about how they use their mental energy. And if they want to take a break, they do not go shallow. They do not watch TV or surf Facebook. They take a real break to boost their brain energy. Being a leader, Virginie, what do you do when you need to take a break?
Yes. So if it's a short break during the day, I will get up from the desk and just go and drink some water. If I need a longer break and the weather is nice, I will go out for a little walk outside to take some fresh air. So that would be the first thing. So not trying to stay 8 hours just behind my computer because that just drains you. So that's what I force myself, like every half an hour, to stand up just for 2-3 minutes, take a deep breath and then come back. If it's a longer break, let's say if I'm stressed about something or if something isn't, like I don't have any inspiration or whatever, I'm trying not to beat myself up and say, that's okay, just take a break. And as you say, so sometimes it's going for a walk, but sometimes it's maybe going to watch a little movie or a series just to get my mind off things. And usually it's when you don't think about something, then after ideas come. What I do, however, as well, is making sure I'm taking proper holidays. So when I take holidays, as you say, I'm trying not to be on social media, although sometimes it's difficult because I still want to engage with all my followers, etc., and keep on helping people. But I really try to take a break, and that's also what I was doing when I was managing teams. I've always told my team members, I'm going on holiday, I am not checking my mails. If there is anything urgent, call me, send me a message, and I will call you back. But I will not check my mails. I need to recharge my batteries. And I was also telling them the same because, as you said, leaders need to lead by example. So I wanted to make sure I was showing the example so that my team members would do the same. I was telling them, I'm not expecting you to work on holiday. You need to take a break. You need to recharge your batteries. So I don't want you to work on emails or whatever. If there is something urgent you need to do, then okay, do it for an hour, 2 hours, but I don't want you to work all your holidays because I want people to be fresh when they come back. So that's always what I've done, and so far it has worked, and I truly believe, again, we cannot work 100% of the time. We need to rest, we need a break, so that again our mind becomes refreshed, that we are again full of energy, and that we can start again properly.
If you had an imaginary team of newly promoted leaders, what would be your tips for them? How to energize themselves, how not to fail in losing their mental energy, how to act correctly in taking breaks?
Another great question. So I would say my advice as well, when as a leader, I always say leadership starts with yourself. You need to be your number one priority, because if you're not healthy, whether it's mentally or physically, you cannot help. So self-care is very important. So again, I would suggest them to make sure that they schedule breaks during the day. Again, it may be 5 minutes. This doesn't have to be long, but they need to schedule these breaks. Some people will say, yeah, but I just have meetings all the time. Then I would say schedule a meeting for yourself. You are your number one priority. What I was doing, especially in Amazon, because we could have meetings from 8 o'clock in the morning until 8 in the evening, I was blocking all my lunch hours so that, again, nobody could plan a meeting during that time. Did I have meeting at noon? Sometimes, yes, but it was the exception and not the rule. So that was me controlling my agenda. Also in the evening, once in a while, 2 or 3 times per week, I was blocking my last hours of my workday again for me, so that I could review what happened, that I could plan for the day ahead, that I could do some work, answer some emails, etc. So it's very important that young leaders know where to set the boundaries and putting time for themselves. They also need to plan once maybe per month a bigger chunk of time, let's say 4 hours or a full day, to think. That may seem like a waste of time, but it's not. As a leader, again, you need to have a vision, you need to think strategically. And you can only do that if you have time to think.
Yeah.
If you are in the middle of projects, dealing with your team, working with other clients or stakeholders, you don't have time. So you really need to make sure you block this amount of time as well, once per month, once whenever you want, and follow it. Just take these 4 hours and isolate yourself. Go to a meeting room or work from home or do something different, but just take that time to think, because that will help you again keep that energy and making sure you are your number one priority, so that after you can help and lead others.
Oh, yes, yes. Absolutely true. 100% agree. I cannot agree more. Beautiful.